just kind of dropped everything, and he forfeited his MVP candidacy or something. Like he dropped out of it or something, and then that kind of paved the way for McCutchen to win it that year.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Who had by far the most amazing year of his career, and hasn't really been close to that since. So sounds like sounds like a Giants player, really. But
yeah, it's not classic Giants. Perfect out there, no pressure.
Yeah. Another thing I was just looking at too is if Cleveland were in the AL West, they'd be the 5th place team.
They would be like the 4th.
Didn't we just talk about that?
We
just talk about that on the pod a couple days ago? Just the fact that in the East, they would be in what, 4th?
Let's see.
They'd be in 3rd right now because Toronto slipped.
Yeah, they have.
But it wouldn't be by much. They would be four games out. So they'd be in 3rd, but only by 4 games.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, and the West, they would be the 5th place team in the West, and in
Texas.
Yeah, I mean the NL West is kind of not that great either, with the Dodgers now getting back
unexpectedly.
Yeah, they're 7-3 in their last 10, and now they are 2.5 games out of first, along with San Francisco 2.5 games out of first, and Colorado's 3.5 out, and San Diego, who is 31-36, is 5.5 out of the division lead.
That's
Dodgers
crazy.
talking about sending Cody Bellinger down too.
Oh, they talking about that? He actually had a decent week, I think, this week. He had some home runs.
Yeah, he had a pretty good week. But prior to that, they were talking about sending him down. I was like, you're about to send the NL Rookie of the Year down.
Yeah, he's at 12 home runs and 235 right now.
It's not good.
Now how far under 500 were they? Do you guys know?
They were like 10 games, I think.
10 games.
Yeah, it got bad.
They were like 4-12 to start the year or something like that.
And they're 1 game over 500, as you guys just said, in 2nd place. So how are they doing it, though? Because I've been out of the loop. I've been mostly on vacation for the last week and a half, and I know they're injured in their rotation. I mean, Maeda is on the DL. I think Kershaw.
Kershaw's still on the DL, yeah.
Rich Hill is back, isn't he? Or did he go back on the DL?
He went back on the 10-day.
Yeah.
He's got bruised ribs. I'll tell you one way they're doing it is Ross Stripling.
Ross Stripling is a monster right now.
Ross Stripling on the year is 4-1 with 66 strikeouts and a 1.52 ERA. His last 5 games are all quality starts except for one, and they are wins with strikeouts of 9, 10, 9, 7, and 6, giving up runs of 1-0, 1-0, 2. Since he's been converted to a starter, he's been absolutely lights out. And, I mean, there's 5 wins right there out of their last, on their come up here. So he's been unbelievable. And their bat's starting to turn around a little bit. Kemp's playing well. You have Bellinger, who's this week started to play a little bit better. And I think schedule-wise, it helped them out a little bit, too, as of recently. They played who'd they play? They played Pittsburgh. They took 2 out of 3. They swept Colorado, which was big. And then they actually took 2 out of 3 from Atlanta as well. So
I think being in Colorado helped Cody a little bit too.
Yeah, it was also at Colorado. So it was high-scoring games all around. So 11-8, 12-4, and then 10-7. So the bats were just going out. Oh, Jansen actually turned the season around as well. So he's picking up saves left and right. He's up to like 14 saves now. So he had a bad start to the year. He had a couple blown saves in the first week.
The Giants have also impressively treaded water without Bumgarner, and now he's back, and they're tied with the Dodgers right now. So
yeah, didn't have played a lot.
They just took 2 or 3 for the Nats too.
I think that goes to show just how weak that division is, because they just keep beating up on each other's selves, and everyone just kind of keeps thinking, everyone's at 500. It's not like the AL West where everyone's like 10, 12 games above 500 and, they're beating everybody else. And I think that the whole division is just beat up right now, so they can afford it. Like, the Dodgers and the Giants are both just as hurt as one another, and San Diego stinks at the bottom. So that's 3 teams out of the 5 right there. and Arizona had some injuries to start the year. Goldie, up until this week, has been bad, but he's really turned it around this week and a half. So
He had a good game today, I think.
he had a great week.
He's being ridiculous the last couple games.
Yeah, he had back-to-back multi-home run games or something like that for the first time in his career, or back-to-back multi-home run games. Some absurd stat like that. He's been really well last week.
I love the Diamondbacks, so I hope that continues for him, because one name that kept popping in my head, was Alan Craig, and I'm like, geez, I hope that's not what's going on with him. Just completely losing it.
That guy's a legend down there in Pawtucket.
Legend.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, at least we got Joe Kelly out of that deal, but
yeah. I'd rather have had $500K.
The day it happened, though, I mean, it seemed like the greatest deal ever. Getting Alan Craig and a decent reliever anyway. But I'm surprised Lackey didn't surface this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He must just decided he was done. But yeah. So another team to keep an eye on right now is the Washington Nationals. On the plus side, Daniel Murphy might be coming back this week, but Strasburg on the DL. So and Kinsler.
Yeah. He just went on the DL.
Yeah, and that's kind of concerning because they have a lot of money invested in Strasburg for a lot of years, and I don't think there's any opt-outs in there either. So hopefully...
They should just be excited that they get to see Mad Max pitch every 5 days.
Yeah, he should have been a Red Sox player. Just imagine if they decided 1 year earlier to go after an ace. We would have got Scherzer. Instead of Price.
Strasburg has a lot of money locked up until he's 35.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets paid $18 million this year. Next year he gets paid, this is not wrong, $38 million next year. Wow. After that, is the next 4 seasons are all player options at $25 million. $15 million, $15 million, and $45 million.
So what?
I think he's going to stay.
Yeah.
So they got
like
$175 million.
Wait,
and $10 million.
Did you just say he's going to make $45 million one year?
In 2023, when he is 34 years old, he has a $45 million total salary making, with the adjusted salary of $15 million.
Holy shit!
Yep.
Hang on. that sounds. Well, his overall contract was for $175.
Yeah.
And the reason, the interesting thing about that was Boris uncharacteristically agreed to that like mid-season. Like he didn't want to test the market with him, because the previous high for anyone with Tommy John was actually only the season before with Jordan Zimmerman, who got I think $110 million post Tommy John, and that was the highest. So then mid-season he agrees to $175 million with Strasburg, so that kind of built the post Tommy John market up even more. And he still had Matt Harvey at the time, and Jose Fernandez was still alive, and their free agency was coming up this year. So I think he was trying to build it up even higher for them, and I don't think anybody foresaw the cliff that Harvey was about to fall off of, but because he had just pitched well in the World Series the year before. So I think that's what was going on there, and Strasburg took the extension mid-season.
It was worth it anyway. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like $175. Even what was he going to get? 8 years, $200 million. I mean, that would have been a reach. That was a great deal, and he's going to get paid. And yeah, they got to be careful with it. It's inflammation. There's no structural damage. He had an MRI, and he was pitching pretty well this year. So, they're going into that game. I mean, he's got 3.46 ERA and that's with only going 2 innings, 3 earned runs in the game that he was hurt. So he's 6-6 in the year. He's another guy that, has a handful of quality start losses. He had 7 innings against the Dodgers, 2 earned runs, loss. 6 2/3 against Atlanta, 3 earned runs, loss. So he's kind of another one against the Dodgers, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs, loss. So he was a guy. It's kind of like Sale, where his team's not helping him out when it comes to run support.
You weren't kidding though about Strasburg. He does have opt-outs, but that last year is for $45 million.
Yeah, they're all
into the tunnel.
From 2020 to 2023, they're all player opt-outs, but I doubt he's going to opt out.
Well, he's not going to opt out. Well, actually, that first year, he can't opt out until after his $38 million year. So, yeah, I mean, he could opt out after that. But he's got a $25 million year the next year. I'd be surprised if he does exercise the opt-out. If anything, it would be after that season when he has only $15 million for the next 2 years before that $45 million. I'm wondering what the logic was there for them to structure it like that.
Well, he was such a young star at the time, and he was actually healthy for the first time. So, you have to grasp onto something, especially since you didn't have a Harper extension at the time.
Right.
So I guess what they could do is, when he's 32 years old, if he opts out, then he would leave 3 years and $75 million on the table. So if he could sign a 4-year, $100 million deal at 32, that would make it worth it.
It would.
It's possible.
Yeah, his health will really dictate everything, though, by that point. So
if he's hurt, he's staying. If he's healthy, and he's crushing it like he is now, if he has like a 3, under a 3.5 into the 3.2s with, a couple hundred strikeouts a year, then he could easily 32 say, hey, I'll opt out, but just sign me to a, extension where I'm getting $25 million a year for the next 4 years, so you don't have to pay me $45 million when I'm 34.
It's the world's biggest safety net.
Yeah, his average, let's see, that's a 7-year deal. So his average annual value, I think, would be $25 million per year. So even though he's getting paid $45 million that year, only $25 million of it really counts towards the luxury tax.
The adjusted salary is basically $15 million. So I don't know what that counts against the cap, but that might be against the cap. The $15 million is adjusted, I think.
No, you want to go with the average annual value.
Oh, average annual value. Never mind.
Yep. Yeah. Which is interesting as well because you got Scherzer for huge money and Strasburg for huge money. I mean, how many of those contracts can you really have? I guess Harper would be it, and they would be handcuffing themselves big time after they signed him, I would think. That's not going to stop them from doing it, obviously, but that could be a team with a lot of payroll problems, for the next 4 or 5 years anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Harper's making $17 million right now, and he's probably going to add a 3 in front of that 7, making $37 million or something stupid like that.
Yep. Whoever signs him, it's going to be stupid.
Yeah, a minimum of probably $35 million annually, at least for the first few years of it, because there'll be opt-outs, obviously. But
yeah, I mean, he's only going to be 20 years old.
Go ahead, David. How far away are we from having players be $50 million apiece? How many years?
Well,
baseball always in flames.
They're saying Trout could be the first, but I don't know. I'm a little skeptical.
Yeah, I don't know.
Based on this last off season. So this next off season, I don't want to say I can't wait for it because I'm enjoying this baseball season, and that just means it's about to be winter again. But it's going to be really interesting. Like I've been saying every episode, MLBTradeRumors.com is going to get a record number of views.
Oh yeah, they're going to crush it.
Yeah, people will be checking by the hour because you'll have the GM meetings, which not a whole lot